Hello everyone and welcome to another Fusion 360 video. I'm here with my daughter, Katienne. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. And we're going to be showing you how to make a Lego brick. So first up, what we're going to do is we are going to click on our icon up on the top here and make sure we click on New Design. So we have this nice blank space. And we also want to make sure up in the corner here, I'm just going to grab my other window on my monitor, that we have a reference image. So I'm just going to scroll down and you can see there is my reference image right there that I'm going to be using. Is that a Lego brick, Katian?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create our sketch. So there's a little sketch icon right here. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to choose a plane. So we're going to be choosing the X and the Y plane right here. So I'm going to click on that plane. You can see if I hover over, they change colors. So that will put me in this sketch palette right here. Now the sketch palette, what you can do is you can click on the plus sign and you can see there's some different options here. We're not going to be using those yet. But what I am going to be using is across the top here. This changes a bit and I'm going to be using the 2-point rectangle tool. So if I click that once, you'll notice under feature options, I have 3 different types of rectangles I can use. We're not going to use the 2-point, we're going to use a center rectangle. So click that once, and I'm going to hover over the center point here, and it will go blue. Click once and drag out. And now I want to dimension my sketch. So what I'm going to do is the length is going to be 31.8. Okay, and then I'm going to hit Tab on my keyboard, and the width is going to be 15.8. Okay, and I hit Tab again. So what I can do now is I can just click on Finish Sketch, and it will take me to this view. I'm going to go up to the home icon and click on that. It'll take me a little bit closer, and I'm just going to use my mouse scroll wheel to zoom out a little bit. What do you think, Katya? That looks okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad messed up on the other one too. You have to make another one.
Yeah, you got to do this stuff a lot, eh? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make this 3D. So I'm going to hover over this sketch here, and it goes that blue color. I'm going to click once, and I'm just going to hit E on my keyboard, and you can see this little arrow appears right here, and I can drag this up and down to extrude the object. Extrude is also, you can see extrude is highlighted here, so you can do that as well. Here is the little tab, and you can put that wherever you want. Now, the height of my Lego brick is, if I'm looking at my reference image here, is 9.6. So if I just type in 9.6 and hit enter, you can see I've got my Lego brick all ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we need to actually make another sketch on top of the Lego brick here to do our circles. So we're going to click on Create Sketch. We're going to hover. You can see you can hover, and it will go on the different sides of your object. I'm going to hover over the top and click once, and it will put me in a nice top view there. Sketch palette's ready to go, and I'm just going to minimize the sketch palette, and I'm going to click on the center diameter circle. Now you can see there's different types of circles under the feature options. We are going to stick with this one, the center diameter circle, and we're just going to hover. We can really hover over anywhere here, and we're just going to click once, drag out, and I'm going to change my dimension to 4.8 millimeters, so 4.8. Okay, and I'm just going to hit enter, and my circle is ready to go. Now, I could move this circle around, but we want to get it exact. So what we're going to do is we are going to hit D on our keyboard, and D is for dimension. You can see there's the dimension icon right there, so I can click that, or I can hit D. And what I want to dimension is from the center here. I want to dimension how far the center of the circle is from the edge. So I'm going to click on the center of the circle, and I'm going to click on the edge here, and you can see this dimension appears. Actually, I have done that incorrectly. So let's try that again. I'm going to hit dimension, and I'm going to click on the center of the circle. There we go. That's what I wanted. And there is our dimension. So we can click that again. And if I'm just looking at my reference here, the dimension is 3.9. And hit enter, and it will move the circle out that way, 3.9. And we also want to dimension our circle this way as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that center of the circle, and I'm going to click this part and I'm going to drag out this way. Same thing, I'm going to type in 3.9. Okay, Katian, does that look like it's in the right spot?
Yeah, I think so, but you know.
Well, you never know, right? We gotta keep trying here. So what we're gonna do is we are going to kind of rotate this sideways. Actually, you can go back. If you want to click on Finish Sketch, that's fine. Now you can see I have some different places I can highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the center of the circle here and just click on it. I'm going to hit E for extrude, and then I'm going to pull this up. Now, you've got your extrude here. So the distance, we can put the distance here, or we can put the distance here. I'm just going to put in 1.8 as the distance. And then you see the operation here. This is joining it to the other body. It's joining this piece on. So you want it at join. And then we're just going to make sure it's joined. We're going to click OK, and that will connect our first piece. I'm going to go click the home icon so we get a better view. All right, so we basically need to create 4 of these this way and 4 of these this way. Now you could put them on individually, but there's a much better tool for this. If you look up on the top here, there's something called a rectangular pattern tool. Also in the create drop-down menu, there's the pattern tool. There's different types. So we click on rectangular pattern, and quite a few options pop up here. So first thing we want to make sure is we are under features, because if you look down on our timeline on the bottom here, we can actually choose features and the feature we want to replicate. So I'm going to click on that feature because that is what I extruded right there. So you can see it's the objects it's selected is that. The direction I want to go this way because I want to put those this way. So I'm going to click on that. And you can see extend, suppress, leave that. Quantity, so 3. So if I actually grab this arrow icon and I pull out, you can see 3 of these appear. I don't want 3, I want 4. So I'm going to drag that out and pull again. Now you can kind of guess this, but I want them an even distance apart. So from center to center, I want them to be 8 millimeters between each one. So I'm going to put in, for distance, I'm going to put in 24. There we go. All right, now dragging this way, I can pull them out this way as well. You can see that makes 3 there, but we don't want 3. That's no good. We're going to go 2. So that's got 2 right there. And the distance I want between here and here is going to be 8 millimeters. So there we go. So, and I just hit enter there to finish that off. And you can see everything is ready to go. We have our basic outline for our Lego piece here, which is pretty cool. Now I want to start working on the bottom of the Lego piece. So I'm going to click on bottom right here. I'm going to zoom out just a bit, and we want to shell this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click once on the bottom, turn it blue, and then I'm going to go up to modify, and you can see there's a shell command right here. So I'm going to click shell, and it asks me what I want to shell, which is that part, of course. And I'm going to make the thickness of the inside shell. If I'm just going to go look back at my reference image here, it's going to be 1.2 right there. So that looks about right. If I drag this and pull around, you can see that's about the right image. So I'm going to click OK, and we got the basic outline for our Lego piece. Now, if you recall, a Lego piece also has those has circles or extruded circles in cylinders, in the bottom here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go, let's see what's the best way to do this. Maybe I'll just rotate it this way. I'm going to click on sketch, and I'm going to choose this as the sketch plane. You can see I can choose the different sides. I'm going to choose this as the sketch plane. Click once, and that will put me, if you look sideways, you can see we are right inside the Lego piece now. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, and I'm going to use the line tool, which is that tool right there. I'm going to click that once, and you can see I can now kind of snap to these center pieces. Now, one important thing here to make this work is under this, wherever you're logged in up here, you want to click this, and you click Preferences, and I believe it's under General, under Design, and you have to have Auto Project Geometry on Active Sketch Plane checked. Make sure that's checked, and I'll explain why in just a second here. Now, here's our sketch palette. Very handy. We're going to click the plus sign, and we're actually going to create what's called a construction line. So it's not a regular line, it's just dotted lines. So I'm going to click on this center circle. I'm going to drag up, and it's going to snap to that center circle. I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to click this little check mark right here, this green check mark to finish that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the center diameter circle, and I don't want it to be a construction line anymore. I want a regular circle. So I'm going to click back on that construction icon right there, and I'm going to pull up until I hit the center of this line. You can see that little triangle glyph right there is going to tell me this is the center. I'm going to click once, I'm going to drag out, and you can see it shows me when it is this circle is tangent with this circle. So that little circle sort of symbol with the line on it appears right there as it connects. Okay, so I'm going to click once. Now, what I want to do is I want to offset this circle right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click select up on the corner here, and I'm going to click this edge of this circle once so it turns blue. You see, it's just the outline is blue. And I'm going to hit O on my keyboard. So O, and O is offset. And you can see the little offset. I'm going to minimize the sketch palette, and you can see this little offset tab comes out. And the offset position, we can drag it around to offset as much as we want, but we are going to go, I'm going to just delete what that is. I'm going to click -1 as the offset. You can see that fits perfectly inside like that. Okay, so that's okay. Now what we want to do is we actually want to extrude. I'm just going to rotate this a bit. We want to extrude this down. So we're just going to make sure you highlight this little, this area of the circle here. And we're going to click E on the keyboard. And I'm just going to back out a little bit so you can see what happens here. And I can pull this down, but there's an easier way. We're going to click on where it says extent right here, and we're going to click to object. And it basically says, where do you want to pull the circle down to? And I'm going to pull it right down to the edge. And you see that light, it goes light gray right there, that edge of our Lego piece. So I'm going to click that, and it extrudes it all the way down to the bottom of that Lego piece right there. See? And join, of course. We're going to click OK, and we've got our first piece. Now, if you recall, we're going to go back to using our rectangular pattern tool to recreate this, basically. So I'm going to click that. Here's our rectangular pattern tool. We're going to, pattern type is, of course, going to be features, and it's going to be, click on the timeline, the feature that you just created. And you can see it selects the feature that you just created. So it selected one object, the direction. I click on select, and of course I want to go this way, so I'm going to click on the side. I click on the side here. And as before, I can just drag it out like that. Or a better way to do this is to do distance. So we are going to go 16, 8 millimeters and 8 millimeters. So 16. And then this is all good. And then I click OK. And so there we go. We have the bottom of our Lego piece. Now, one tiny more thing before we finish. Let's fillet these edges here. So what we can do is just highlight the edge, hold down Shift, and click all the edges of these cylinders like that, and click S on your keyboard. S is search, and we can hit F for fillet. You can see there's two different types of fillet. That is a sketch fillet. We want this fillet right here, so we can click that, and you can just drag it in a little bit, and it's going to round them out. Sure, decimal, just put decimal 0.4 millimeters, and click OK. And there we go. We have our Lego piece all done and ready to go. Perfect. Hopefully this has been helpful. And don't forget to save your Lego piece. So I'm just going to call this Lego. All right. Ready to go. Thanks for watching.